soar. The Ravens flying into the storm and the Patriots in New England. Pittsburgh looks to ride the bus to their 9th straight. Randy's back in Minnesota. Vic's doing what else? Scrambling. While it's the battle of futility and for the first pick in San Francisco. Week 12 of NFL Primetime. Next.
NFL Primetime is presented by Miller Lite. Primetime is Miller time. And now, here's your host, Chris Berman.
Hello once again, everybody. We hope that you had a great Thanksgiving weekend. For Tom Jackson, Chris Berman, and all of us at ESPN, we certainly hope that's the case. And it's a football weekend. I mean, high school, college, and certainly the NFL.
Yeah, I'm still in the holiday spirit. No fights this weekend. It was all great.
It was
all good.
Now, look, sometimes a game comes out of nowhere, all right?
Yes.
And, oh, my, it's the second highest scoring game in the history of the NFL. Well, what's the one game that wouldn't be? That would
Not going to be Cleveland-Cincy.
No. That's why they play the games, and that's why they keep going into the end zone. Bengals trail the Browns 7-0 at Cincy. Rumors swirling, Butch Davis in trouble if the Browns lay an egg. Carson Palmer, Kelly Washington, and it's a 7-7 game. Then Carson Palmer, Chad Johnson. Remember, he mailed the Browns defensive back Pepto-Bismol in the game at Cleveland, won by Cleveland, but this time Johnson, 46-yard touchdown. Then you say Hushman-Zeta, I say Hushman-Zada, touchdown, 21-13 Cincy. Kelly Holcomb starting for the injured Jeff Garcia. Steve Hyden skates in 20 yards, 27-20 Cincinnati. Bengals, Carson Palmer. You say Hushman-Zeta, you say Hushman-Zada, you say touchdown. Tom,
Quite a few of them.
what's going on out here?
Everybody open in this game.
34-20 Cincy until Holcomb to Antonio Bryant. 34-27 Cincinnati. Now, late third. Rudy. Oh, by the way, he had 200 yards rushing. Touchdown, 41-27 Bengals. Here come the Browns. Kelly Holcomb. Antonio Bryant. Tom, it's still the third quarter. 41-34 Cincinnati. Now, after a field goal, which almost doesn't seem right that they're kicking field goals, 44-34, William Green. Touchdown Cleveland, 44-41. Barry Gardner. Look at the ball. Tips off the foot into Gardner's hands, and he fumbles, stumbles down to the one. Next play, Holcomb to Hyden. Touchdown. Cleveland has the lead, 48-44. But Rudy. 7-yard touchdown, 51-48 Cincinnati. Ken Cleveland at the 2-minute break. Muster. Another drive. Oh, my. After all this, we're going to have defense. Delta O'Neal. What's that flower you have on? Touchdown. And in the second highest scoring game in the history of the NFL, the Cincinnati Bengals beat the Cleveland Browns 58-48 in a game that rocked Ohio for 966 yards, 49 first downs, and a lot of head scratching. History in the making, and only a game in 1966 between the Redskins and the Giants. And I got a funny story to tell you about that one by Washington, 72-41, with 3 seconds left. Sam Huff, remember, was a Redskin, and Arnold Graham was the coach. He had been traded from Allie Sherman's Giants. He's very annoyed, whatever. So with 3 seconds to go, Arnold Graham, they call a timeout, and they send Charlie Gogolak on to kick a meaningless field goal, 72-41, to make more points. But you don't often get to talk about that. That's the only game in the history of the NFL higher scoring than this.
Well, it's great.
Where did that come from?
It's a great football game, and that's the way they come. They come out of nowhere.
But meanwhile, Butch Davis, okay, his team played certainly offensively like the way he would like to respond. But sometimes, Tom, you get what you ask for, don't you?
Well, certainly. And I think that Butch Davis wanted all the power with the Cleveland Browns. He had that. He was the head coach. He was the GM. He was the guy in charge of personnel. He's the guy in charge of the discipline or lack of that we've seen with this football team. And I think all of those things come back to bite you. This is a team that you've been watching now for a few years, and people have been questioning, could Butch Davis bring this team around? He has not of yet, although I was impressed today with the effort that they put forth. Because a lot of times when you know your coach's job is on the line, all you have to do is watch the intensity that a team puts into a game. They put a lot of intensity into the game, even though in a losing effort.
This complete control thing, Not the way to go in the NFL. I'm sorry. He got rid of. He didn't get rid of. But amazingly, some very good football people were no longer at Cleveland.
Carmen Policy, Dwight Clark.
A year and a half, and not seeing it on the field. So, tenuous future for Butch Davis, despite all the points. Eli's coming, but again, against the first-place team in the NFC, could the Giants wearing red work it? And speaking of rookie QBs, Big Ben Roethlisberger, will he ever lose?
NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite. Grab yourself a great-tasting low-carb Miller Lite. And in part by Flight of the Phoenix, December 22nd, only in theaters. And Spider, listed on the American Stock Exchange.
The NFL on ESPN. 2 games each and every week. Oh, that hurts. These guys are tough. Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, my. Oh. The NFL on ESPN.
It's time for the NFL on ESPN, and the hits just keep on coming. The AFC West leading Denver Broncos return home to go for their 3rd straight win, but things are never easy when they face their arch rivals, the Oakland Raiders. Raiders-Broncos live Sunday. Then Brett Favre leads his Green Bay Packers into Lambeau Field to take on the high-flying aerial attack of the St. Louis Rams. It should be an old-fashioned shootout. Raiders-Broncos live Sunday. Rams-Packers live Monday on ESPN.
The classic teams, the classic moments, the classic rivalries. Join us as we relive the most historically renowned matches in the history of the game. The history of cricket continues with the classic matches. Wednesday on ESPN.
No equipment needed. Only your hands and your heart. And according to the outcome, you will live 3 minutes of hell. Or 3 minutes of glory. Friday Night Fights on ESPN. The NBA on ESPN continues Friday night. Rick Hamilton and the champion Pistons hit the road to San Antonio to battle Manu Ginobili and the Spurs. Pistons, Spurs, live Friday night. The NBA on ESPN.
And now the Tennessee Titans at the Houston Texans, who lost a heartbreaker, of course, on Sunday Night Football last week, as Brett Favre drove against them. This time, Jeff Fisher gets Steve McNair back last week. They won, so they still feel they're in it. And why not with the way they played early? McNair to Aaron Kinney, touchdown, 7-7. Excuse me, McNair 7 for 7 and 2 touchdowns, first 2 drives. Then McNair to Derek Mason, who's had a great year, for a touchdown. And then at 21-3, the dance, not as good as his year, but the Titans lead at 21-3 in Houston. Then 21-10, last play of the half, a 41-yard field goal attempt by Texans. Now you tell me 5 years ago, remember the Music City Miracle? Here comes Tennessee again, and then it's whoop! And then wait a minute, we're not done yet, let's go back, whoop! And then wait a minute, we better get the ball, it's only a close game, and then, oh no, and then whoop! And then we go across the field, and then, oh my goodness, we're back at our own 10. There's the light, there's the dart, here's a block, boom, there's a block right there, whoop! Outside of, the half's over, 21-10, Tennessee. And David Carr says this time our turn to come back to St. Dominic's Preview Davis. 11 yards, 3rd and 4, same drive. Carr to not the Red Sox, not the vice presidential candidate, but the Texans, Billy Miller. Touchdown, 21-17. 3rd down, McNair. Quarterback sneak, it's a fumble. Boy, McNair's just so careful with the ball, Tom. Texans recover. Then on 3rd and 4, play action Carr. It holds him, And then Andre Johnson is there, and the Texans have come from 21-3 down to lead 24-21. McNair 3rd and 10, fourth quarter. Antoine Peak takes a good look. Fumble! Texans ball. Under 4 to go. Still 24-21. McNair. Now here he goes against Jamie Sharper. Look at that move. McNair shaking up on the tackle but stays in just before the 2-minute warning. 3rd and 7. McNair. Drew Bennett. First down. Drive alive. 2-minute warning. McNair. You know what's coming. No, you don't. It's picked up by Marlon McCree. And with Bud Adams looking on in Houston for the first time in Houston, the team that replaced his team beat his team. And so the Texans are the ones that are 5-6, winning 31-21, and another big step for David Carr after the 3-game losing.
Yeah, congratulations to those Houston Texans, showing a lot of improvement this year. And you can tell that Steve McNair is hurting, and every time he gets hit, a toll is taken on his body. I don't know how much longer he can stay in the lineup.
And for Tennessee, 4-7, pretty much in that conference, not going to work. When we return Randy Moss back, pretty much after more than a month, how would he do in a big game for Minnesota against Jacksonville? And Donovan McNabb and the Eagles, can they wrap up the division before we turn the calendar to December?
Chevrolet Fantasy Ticker is brought to you by the new Chevrolets. 10 new cars and trucks in 20 months. An American Revolution.
2 games today between teams with winning records. One of them this one, Byron Leftwich back after missing 2 games in a bye, 6-4. Jacksonville against Randy Moss back for 6-4. Minnesota in the Dome. So Dante Culpepper says, I got Moss, I'll find Moss. First down leads to a field goal. Morton Anderson, 3-0 Vikes. Then the Jags. Byron Leftwich, knee brace on, play action. That's nice. Brian Jones, touchdown, 7-3 Jaguars. Field goal, 10-3 Jaguars. Vikings to the 1. Culpepper. A sneak to tie the game at 10. So now in the 3rd quarter, we're tied at 13. 3rd and 12, Minnesota. Culpepper. This is what he can do. Big guy, 260. Finds time and finds Jermaine Wiggins from
East Boston.
He's had a big year at tight end for Minnesota. Improvisation first down. Then, later in the drive, 3rd and goal, Culpepper. Wow, how about this to Randy Moss? Tom, touchdown, 20-13 Minnesota.
Yeah, watch the catch, but watch the concentration with the feet. Grabs the ball, takes it from over the defender, actually got his feet in twice. Both feet, that's 4 feet.
Now, 4th quarter, it's 20-16, and look at the sack by Bobby McCray, Sheila McCray. Good night, everybody. Fumble recovered by Jacksonville. Jags in the game. 3rd and 10. Leftwich to Troy Edwards between 3 Vikings. 29 yards, keeps the drive alive. Just before the 2-minute warning, 3rd and 6. Kenichi Udeze, the rookie, forces the fumble. Kevin Williams, and watch Antoine Winfield with the block. Could go all the way. 6'5", 311. Kevin Williams puts the game away on Udeze's hit. 77 yards. Leftwich couldn't pull a rabbit out of the hat this time. Vikings. No, the Packers play Monday night. Now they have a half-game lead. Jags, 2 behind the Colts, 27-16 Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota Vikings not, falling on their face as they did down the stretch last year. Maybe this will put them on the right track. Got to hang with Green Bay.
Meanwhile, to the Pacific Northwest we go. Buffalo 0-4 on the road, but they bring a good defense. Seattle an enigma this year. But the first-place team in the NFC West. Travis Henry leaves the game with a leg injury, so Willis McGahee was hurt a little bit. Well, but it's his job anyway. Touchdown, 7-0 Buffalo. After a Lindell field goal, 10-0 Bill. Sean Alexander stuffed on first down. 2nd and goal, Matt Hasselbeck playing injured. Incomplete. 3rd and goal. Hasselbeck going to try this. No! Stop. And Seattle settles for a field goal. Big stand by Buffalo. 10-3 Bills under 2 minutes and a half. 3rd and 8, Drew Bledsoe. needed a couple hundred tickets for his friends and family. First time he's played in his home state of Washington as a pro. That's Lee Evans' first down. That's Lee Evans for 12. Then on 3rd and goal to 3. How about this rookie? Yeah, Bledsoe right back to him despite the good coverage. Right before the half, what a big score, Buffalo, 17-3. Then, 3rd quarter, Matt Hasselbeck, ball tipped. Terrence McGee with the pick. Hasselbeck, 19 of 38, under 200 today. That leads to another McGahee touchdown. Then, tricky Bills. The pitch to Willis McGahee. 30-yard touchdown. What a play, Buffalo. It's a laugher. 31-3. Then, he's been in the end zone 3 times. How about 4? Willis McGahee in the end zone. 4 touchdowns, ties the second most in a game in Bills history. Only Cookie Gilchrist in the AFL 1963 with 5. And the Bills beat the Seahawks 38-9. The Bills look like the contending team in this game.
Yeah, devastating loss for the Seahawks, and we all question the deal. Willis McGahee, you had Travis Henry on the team. He's going to miss a year. It all looks like it's going to pay off for the Buffalo Bills. Tremendous running back in Willis McGahee.
So the Bills win a road game. How about PR man Scott Birchtold going to Jimi Hendrix's grave yesterday in the suburban Seattle? Turned out to be Hendrix's birthday. He knew that it would be all along the watchtower for the Buffalo Bills and put the Seahawks in a purple haze. Miami, San Francisco, the Super Bowl. 1-9 Miami, 1-9 San Francisco. A.J. Feely, finger appears to be dislocated. He goes out, but like the Duke, John Wayne, not the football, he comes back. And the next possession, Feely hurting. He was hurting last week. Hey! We're making a movie of it. It's Chris Chambers, touchdown. The Niners do lead 10-7 in the 4th, but Feely to Randy McMichael over the middle. Dolphins lead 14-10. And then Tim Rattay, fumble, hit by Jason Taylor. Derek Pope scores. 8 sacks by Miami, 3 by Jason Taylor. Their defense still cares. And under Jim Bates, they stayed out west. They almost won against Seattle. They stayed out west for Thanksgiving. They get a win over San Francisco, who in the common draft, and Miami too, has never actually picked number 1. They now have the inside track on the first draft.
And if you want to watch something about the Miami Dolphins, it's a character test throughout this season. Just watch how hard they play, and a test for Feely. Find out if he's their quarterback in the future.
And by the way, in case you're wondering, 79 did the Niners have the first pick? Well, they got it at trade. Tom Cousineau. They never pick first. They might this time. When we return, speaking of number 1 picks, Michael Vick. What heroics would he show us? He had some as the Falcons and Saints renewed acquaintances, and another number 1 pick, Eli Manning. Hello to the Philadelphia Eagles defense. Hey, it's Colorado in late November. Sunday Night Football. There's Champ Bailey and the Broncos in the snow. Sunday Night Football, Broncos raiding.
Welcome back to NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite.
The last 2 teams to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl, Carolina last year, the Bucs who won it all 2 years ago, first meeting this season. Little grudge going between John Gruden's Bucs, John Fox's Panthers. Remember last year, 3 block kicks, including one at the end of the game, enabled Carolina to win over Tampa Bay in week 2. That was Julius Peppers blocking Martin Grammatica's field goal. Now, this is Julius Peppers. He's a defensive end. He's downfield. Michael Pittman is going to run a long way, but look who gets him, Tom.
Yeah, watch Julius Peppers. He takes the perfect angle. He cuts him off, allows the rest of the defense to catch up and make a play.
That is absolutely amazing. Then, what else can... Oh, Peppers can do this. He could go all the way. Drops in coverage. Defensive end. 46 yards. Picks off Brian Greasy. 14-7. Look at the play.
Yeah, look at the drop. Look at the hands. Look at the range. And then the speed to outrun everybody with Tampa Bay to the end zone.
And then here comes Al Wallace in the Panther defense. And Bob, boom, from behind. Pittman fumbles. And it's going to be the Panthers recovering. So, 2 minutes to go. 14-0 in the game. Martin Gramatica. No good. 1 blocked, 2 missed field goals on the day. Bad blood between him and the teams. Then, like last year in the game in Carolina, daylight come and you got a Delhomme. Jake to Muhsin Muhammad. Jake Delhomme. Ricky Prohl inside a minute inside the 40. 30 seconds to go. Delhomme to Kerry Colbert. Got it. Touchdown. 20 seconds left. The Panthers have gone ahead of the Bucks. 21-14. Delhomme to Colbert twice. Then 5 seconds to go. Bucks have a shot. Brian Greasy. What do you do, Tom?
Knock it down.
Oh.
Tim Brown almost had a play.
But he didn't. And the Carolina Panthers have dealt John Gruden and the Bucks a blow so that both teams are 4-7. Yes, I know it's the NFC. Yes, I know you can get in at 9-7, maybe even 8-8. But this one, give Carolina, defending champs, credit.
That's
They've
right.
now won 3 games in a row, and despite 347 yards thrown by Greasy.
And I think you said this morning he was one of your game breakers. Nick Goings, as the team goes right now, it goes with Nick Goings. He runs the ball, they get play action pass.
So, meanwhile, the team at the top of that division, the NFC South, 8-2 Atlanta. That would be Michael Vick at home against division rival New Orleans. Watch this. And what? I'm gone. I mean, was that another gear, Tom, or what? 16-yard touchdown, Vick. 7-play drive, 7-0 fouls. 17-6 third quarter. Ace, Deuce, plenty of use. Deuce McAllister, 12-yard run to the Atlanta 7. Aaron Brooks. No funny passes from him today, not the likes of what we've seen. But wait a minute. Brooks with a touchdown, and now 2-point try good at 17-14. Michael Vick. Speaking of defensive linemen with good hands, Charles Grant having a big year for New Orleans and a sorry season for the Saints. Has the Saints in business at the 30. 4th and 1. Same drive, sneak, Brooks, first down. Same drive, Brooks to Joe. Don't bother me right now, I'm on the horn. Touchdown, 7 yards, 21-17. The Saints have come back in Atlanta. But here comes Atlanta. Warwick Dunn, not so fast, it's a fumble. James Allen, 3 minutes to go. Saints have iced it. No, they've not. 3 and out, they punt. Michael Vick, under 2 minutes. L.G. Crumpler, 27 yards, down to the 20. Vick, what? How does he do it? Crumpler, touchdown. The Saints crumple by the great athletes Vick and Crumpler, 24-21. But New Orleans has a shot. Brooks needs a miracle. He can throw it now. Number 1 pick, D'Angelo Hall, picks it off. Jim Morris, Atlanta Falcons, are 9-2. They're 5 up in the division with 5 to go. And Atlanta they've run for 190 yards 4 straight games. Today was 186, but you get the picture. Rushing the football is what they can do.
Yeah, great change of pace with Duckett and Warwick Dunn. You get 2 different styles of runner, and don't measure Mike Vick by the numbers, just measure him by what he does.
So we sit Atlanta now up by 5 with 5 to go. The Philadelphia Eagles had a very rare chance to wrap up a division in November after only 11 weeks. They'd go into the Meadowlands to face Eli Manning, game 2 of the Eli Manning era in New York. And here we go with a prime time as we go. And Sal Palantonio said it would be bad weather.
Till 3 o'clock.
Well, it's Sal, not on the Weather Channel yet. But Eli Manning warming up inside. Now what happens here? Hey, outside, the weather outside was frightful. Giants do recover after the... What? Gonna happen.
Yeah, and we'll find out. You know, in this league, you have to be able to throw that wet ball.
Well, now Manning, boy, he can throw the deep ball, though, Tom, to Jamar Taylor, down to the 10. Giants get a field goal. Steve Christie, they lead Philly 3-0. 3rd and 2 at the 4, Philly. Donovan McNabb, play fake, touchdown. Eagles lead 7-3, and he gets a block.
Yeah, watch L.J. Smith here. He's going out for a pass, but he sees that his quarterback's going to run the football. You immediately turn up, become a blocker, and gives him that corner right there, front corner of the end zone.
So later in the second, the score is still 7-3 Manning. How about the Giants wearing those red uniforms from, what, the 50s, I guess? Just a year or two. Jeremy Shockey doing the T.O.
It's just the first down.
Yes, thank you. Meanwhile, Mark Semino, it's just a sack. Manning sacked 5 times by the Eagles defense of the real Jim Johnson. There, McNabb, looking, rolling, fumble! Ball hit his leg. Giants recover. They get a break. 6.5 to go in the half. Terrell Owens, quiet in the first half, but quiet for him, right?
Yeah, not a lot of balls thrown at him. You see the drop right there, but one of the things that you've watched with T.O. this year, quiet for long periods of time and then explodes onto the scene. Big plays coming.
Akers has kicked a field goal, make it 7-6. Then, after a Manning fumble, Eli Manning going deep to Jamar Taylor. Wow! Inside the 5. So the Giants in business, 1st and goal. Fade route to Shockey. He giveth, he taketh away. Quinton McKell with a big pick as the Giants and Archie and the Manning family watching in dismay. Then Manning overthrows and picked off by Brian Dawkins in the 3rd quarter of a 10-6 game. 6 of 21, Eli today against the defense that shows you a lot of stuff. Then, Javon Kurtz, unmarked on the left side, blocks the Jeff Eagles punt. Eagles recover, setting up a Brian Westbrook touchdown. 20-6. McNabb, T.O., 1st down. Now, here's his dance. Barrett Green, and then T.O. like a punter looking for 15 yards.
Great. It's great.
When the screen works, Tom, it's the nicest play in football. The screen to Brian Westbrook. He cuts at the 20, shakes a tackle to the 15, and the rest is the little guy from Villanova. Touchdown, 27-6. And the Eagles go on, as they did last week. Tight game, Washington for a half. Big 2nd half. They do the same with the Giants, and they beat them by the count of 27-6. And so the Philadelphia Eagles have become only the 3rd team to clinch a division in 11 games after the 16-game schedule is instituted in 1978. Mike Ditka's Bears, 1985, 97 Niners. And now the Eagles. The Eagles defense. Jim Johnson, and Andy Reid said it this week, is going to bring the fastball to the youngster Eli Manning. He brought the fastball. You see the sacks, and Philly's defense as a look. It may not be the greatest defense you've ever seen.
Good enough.
They look a lot better than they did a month ago.
Yeah, I think that they're playing together and playing well. They have the scheme now that Jim Johnson wants. He's got the people in place I think that he wants. Certainly congratulations to Andy Reid and the Eagles for winning their division, but they're going to keep eyeballing these steps as they come. Next comes home field advantage. Then you start looking toward the playoffs. And the last couple of weeks before this game, they did a great job in terms of their rush defense. They were giving up just over 60 yards a game. Today they gave up 166, even though they won. And it's something that Coach Reid is going to keep his eye on. He's going to be watching this. He wants to have this team playing perfect football by the time they get to the playoffs.
Well, hey, at 10-1 and division champs, and we're not in December.
Playing pretty good.
That would be pretty good football. Again, congratulations to the Eagles, 4 straight division crowns, and they have their eyes on bigger prizes. When we return, we have our eyes on other games here in week number 12. Including the Jets on the road in the dry heat of Arizona. My favorite Martin, how would he do? Dante Hall had it both ways for the Chiefs and Chargers in a wild and woolly game in Arrowhead.
Inside the Numbers, brought to you by Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. Get ready for the game.
Well, Jake Plummer warming up in the snow in Denver. Broncos, Raiders. Our game at the bottom of the hour, Sunday Night Football. I think Tom might be watching that game.
You bet. You bet.
The Jets out in the desert. In Arizona, Quincy Carter led him to an ugly but yet road win last week with a touchdown pass with 5 minutes to go. Emmitt Smith looks like just a basic tackle. And he leave the game, would not return the score, tied at 3 at the half. Carter knocked out early with a head injury. Brooks Bollinger played for the Jets, but here he is in the 3rd quarter. Santana Moss, wow, looking backwards, touchdown, 69 yards, 13-3, Jets. Sean King Starting second game, Harris Watt picked off by Jonathan Vilma. Bring Dino out and give him a walk. He had Larry Fitzgerald over.
Yeah, you watch here, and it's a great shot to watch the route unfold. You see Larry Fitzgerald break to the middle of the field. This is wide open in the NFL, and he throws the ball about 5 yards short. Inexplicable throw for a veteran quarterback.
And so King pulled Josh McCown's pass complete to Anquan Bolden, but former guard David Barrett fumbles, and then Vilma falls on the ball. Barney, can I borrow your car? Now, late in the fourth, Tears of McCown has time. Down 13-3. Picked off by David Barrett. So Herm Edwards and the Jets go into the desert again. Not the most impressive win you'll ever see. But last time I checked, the Jets were 8-3. A win is a win is a win. 2 road wins with Quincy Carter and Arizona. What's going on? They had a nice thing going.
Yeah, Arizona, you have to wonder about the shift to Sean King at the quarterback position when they had won 3 or 4 games, and Curtis Martin continues to be the driving force with the Jets, 1 yard short of the century mark.
Talk about a good game. San Diego, Drew Brees. They don't wear those hats in San Diego very much, do they, Tom? In Kansas City, where it was cold. 14-7 Kansas City. LaDainian Tomlinson, after Brees completes a couple of big third down passes, ties the game at 14. 17-14 Chiefs at the half. Dante Hall, Pro Bowl season last year, 4 returns for touchdowns. Here he goes again. Good. Go. All the way. Kasim Osgood is chasing. Gerald Pippins recovers. He just dropped the ball. Amazing. Chargers get a break.
I've actually done this in a game, so I clearly understand what can happen. It hits something on your body, and it comes out. Nobody knows what happens except
I've
you.
dropped my script running late into the studio, too. Antonio Gates hit hard by Dexter McCleon, but Gates, man, he has just authored, here it is again, Gates has authored just a tremendous season. Watch this play. Drew Brees out in front blocking on an end around to Eric Parker, who pens a 38-yard gain down to the 12. It sets up a field goal to tie it at 17, but then Derek Blaylock. Priest Holmes out. Blaylock, 22-yard touchdown. Kansas City misses the extra point, but they go ahead 23-17. Then Brees. Watch Brees and Gates in the red zone. Yikes! Antonio Gates, touchdown. 24-23 San Diego. Then Hall says, you know what, give me another chance. Put me in, coach. I can play center field. I don't think Nate Kading's going to get him. This time he really could go all the way. Dante Hall, 96 yards, 2-point conversion, good. 31-24 Chiefs. First and goal for the Chargers, though. Right back down the field, and here's Gates in the red zone.
Yeah, in the red zone, he gets a little bump right there, but you can see he's got too much strength, power, lower body control for any safety to handle him. Just stay between the ball and the defender, just like in basketball. Same theory, make the catch.
Now you don't see Donnie Edwards making a huge interception, which then with 2.5 minutes ago sets up Nate Kading. Missed a couple of field goals. His field goal good, 34-31. Trent Green, incomplete. And the San Diego Superchargers have gone into Kansas City, where they have lost 7 straight times. They've gone into Arrowhead and beat the Chiefs 34-31. Marty Schottenheimer used to coach the Chiefs in Kansas City. Lifetime that makes him 66-22. And what a win for these San Diego Chargers, who really have come from nowhere. And now they put the onus on the Broncos, who they host next week.
That's right.
Going into the Sunday night game, they lead them by a half a game.
Yeah, and a lot of people playing well, but if there is a key, it is Drew Brees to Antonio Gates. You know, it's hardest to score once you get into the red zone. We talked this morning on Countdown about the fact, get a bump on the guy. Here you're going to see Gates. This is not in the red zone. It's the other team's red zone, actually. But again, untouched off the line of scrimmage. This is against cover 2. It's over the top of the cornerback, in front of the safety. toward the sideline, that 7-route flag route that we talked about. Here Gates again on the bottom of the screen. Now we are inside the red zone. Off the line of scrimmage, comes untouched, gets right onto the safety. Now he's got a two-way cut. He makes the cut toward the corner. Again, the big body keeps it in between the defender and the football. Here he's going to get a slight bump, but you have to do more to this guy. You have to stay there, jam, then go to the flat route if you're the linebacker. Help protect your safety. And we're going to take a look at this from another angle, end zone camera. Look at Drew Brees eyeball his favorite target, waiting for him to make his cut, and he knows if he puts it up, this is basically, you know, he's a former basketball player. It's all about the rebounding, getting yourself in a position to take the ball away from somebody else. And I think really at heart, that's what makes him such a great player when you get down close.
The record for tight ends catching touchdown in a season, 12 by 4 different guys, one being our own Mike Ditka, who was a rookie in 61. Gates now has 11, and you know, he's just learning the position. And how about this? 498 yards for Kansas City offense, almost 37 minutes with the ball. And Drew Brees, let's see, they made no turnovers. 28 of 37 for 378. Marty Schottenheimer says Marty Ball is dead. Whatever it is he's doing, it's alive and well. And the Chargers have come from nowhere. And they're going in December in first place. When we return, the bus. Another start for him. Would he get 100 yards? Would the Steelers still win? And the New England Patriots in the game between the teams with best records, Patriots in the slop hosting Baltimore.
Welcome back to NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite.
The Pittsburgh Steelers. Perfect 8 for 8 under Ben Roethlisberger. Their only home game in a month facing the Washington Redskins. First quarter, the Skins and Steelers, the top two defense ranked in football for yards. So we look to special teams. Antoine Randall L. on the punt return. 60 yards, sets up a Pittsburgh field goal, 3-0 Pittsburgh. 4th and 1, Steelers going for it. With the slop, they decided to wait another week for Deuce Staley, Tom. Jerome Bettis, that's what he does, 4th and short.
He has been amazing the last month in terms of what he's provided in terms of rushing for this football team.
And how about catching the dump pass? The play goes 20 yards, and it's inside the 10. 1st and goal now. Bettis from the 4. Touchdown. 4-yard run. 10-0 Pittsburgh. 11 TDs, tying a career high for guys the 5th leading rusher all time. Now 13-0 Joey Porter with the sack of Patrick Ramsey. Redskins right before the half go for it. 4th and 4, knowing points at a premium. James Thrash drops the good pass by Ramsey.
And those are the things you have to do to protect a young quarterback. You've got to help him out again by making those catches for him.
13-0 at the half, now 13-7, but Bettis, left side, 16 yards. 4th straight gain for 100 yards. He has that exactly. 31 carries, 100 yards. That leads to a field goal, 16-7. Here come the Steelers. Porter with the backside blitz. Sacks Ramsey, 1 of 5 sacks. Washington plays D2, Tom. Watch this, the rookie. Sean Taylor, Bob, boom, to the rookie Willie Parker. But Pittsburgh plays the D. Oh!
He reminds me of Roy Williams because he's bringing extra body weight with the impact.
Kimo Von Barber, he makes the pressure. Deshae Townsend makes the pick. The Pittsburgh Steelers lost in week 2 to Baltimore in the game that Roethlisberger replaced Maddox. Since then, they've won them all. Steelers, 16. The Redskins, 7. In a game that Bettis, again, had 100 yards. Talk this week with the disappointing season of the Skins. Joe Gibbs, reevaluating things. He was pretty adamant after the game.
My health is superb. No, it's not something I think about. Yeah, I made a commitment to come here, and I feel bad for Dan, our fans, and everybody, our players, and we're all fighting our guts out trying to get something going. So I don't know where that came from.
It came from, it reported that Joe, the diabetes is maybe wearing him down. But look, Joe Gibbs is already a Hall of Fame coach. And by the way, I mean, it's like a car that, you know, pulled all of a sudden into the passing lane. We don't quite have the oomph again. But I think, being a NASCAR guy, he'll know how to find that.
You listen to Joe Gibbs, and you hear a guy with a lot of pride,
Yes.
and whether it's been the NFL or whether it's been NASCAR, which Chris is talking about, he has been a champion, winning the Super Bowl with 3 different quarterbacks at the helm. So this is going to leave a sour taste in his mouth, and if at all possible, he is going to come out and he's going to turn this thing around. I mean, he's one of the greatest coaches I've ever seen stand on the sideline. Yes, it hasn't worked out thus far this year, but I certainly wouldn't doubt the fact that somehow Joe Gibbs is going to make all of this work, and he's going to make it work pretty quickly.
He's got a good defense to work with.
That's right, good defense to start with. LeVar Arrington still not actually playing for that defense, so you get that kind of guy back, he's going to make some impact.
Did we say defense, Tom?
Defense.
Because I think we have pretty good defenses at work in this game in the slop at New England. That would be the New England Patriots, have won 24 of their last 25 games, and the Baltimore Ravens on the Steelers' heels in that division because they've allowed the fewest points in football. You knew it would be a slugfest in Foxborough. Here we go with our prime cut. Late kickoff in New England. It was nasty. It's hard. It's hard. It's a hard read. You could have, babe. Mud 2 inches deep. Tom Brady says, let's go to work. As you might expect, points to come slowly. Brady away from pressure. Look at that. Daniel Graham, 22 yards. And then, I don't care what the weather is, Adam Vinatieri, it's always good. Always good. Snow, rain, mud, 2,000 degrees. 16 straight regular season games. Patriots have scored first, 3-3 at the half. 3rd and 1. Kyle Bowler played well the last 2 weeks. Boom! Look at the hit by Teddy Bruschi. Bruschi, maybe the one. Is there anyone indispensable on the defense? You might start with Bruschi. Forces the punt. Look at the stiff arms by Corey Dillon.
This is the best contact runner in football. He was in Cincinnati. He is here with the defending world champions. He gets the contact. He actually enjoys it. He gets a little burst after somebody touches him.
And then Dillon runs right, makes the juke, puts the arm out again, and then boom, lowers the shoulder, 18 yards. 3rd and 6. Brady to Deion Branch from Louisville, 15 yards. He's back. You saw it Monday night. It's a first down. Start of the 4th quarter, same drive. Dillon, boom, touchdown. 2-point conversion. Good. 17-3 New England. And now, here we go. Richard Seymour. You know there's always somebody doing something.
Richard Seymour, outstanding defensive end. Put him at the fullback position. Get me a lead block. Clear away for your running back. He actually blocks 2 guys to clear the way for Corey Dillon.
Named Ed Reed and Ray Lewis. Charlie Weiss, offensive coordinator, likes what he sees. The Patriots are like this, too. Teddy Johnson having his best season in several years for New England. Healthy, 10-yard sack. Bowler, pressure, mud. Bruschi with the hit. Bow, end zone. Jarvis Green, touchdown. New England's defense scoring.
Yeah,
24-3.
Coming off the edge, Bruschi and everybody on his team makes big plays. He's finishing Bowler off right there, knocks the ball out somehow. They get a score.
So even on a day with the muck and the mire, I know the defense scored again. The difference is New England scoring, in the mid-20s or more all the time. They get the running with Dillon and 41 rush attempts, 144 yards. You talked about it, Tom, with 36 minutes of control. This is what's different about New England. The running, on a good day, allows them to throw it deeper. They got a much bigger package.
Corey Dillon is a ball control type back. He will allow you to kill the clock in close games. And if we remember last year, this is their defense that they took down the stretch, giving up 3, 6, a touchdown a week, a shutout every now and then. They became very hard to score on once you got to December.
Well, by the way, New England, 10-1. When we return, game balls. Hit a lot of games that had a lot of points.
NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite. Grab yourself a great-tasting low-carb Miller Lite. And in part by Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. And Nexium. Talk to your doctor about prescription Nexium.
ESPN Sport Legends presents Steffi Graf. In 1988, Steffi Graf was relentless as she sought to join Maureen Conley and Margaret Court as the only women to win the Grand Slam.
You know, and I got more questions as I win Wimbledon, and suddenly, you know, everybody's talking about it.
In September at the US Open final, Graf needed to defeat another prodigy, Gabriela Sabatini, to secure the slam.
It was a tough match.
Every single ball, I mean, you sit there sweating, tensing up.
I would have loved to win it that time, but I think she also deserved to get it all.
I didn't realize how much it got to me, actually, after I won it. I was in the car crying, and my dad is like, you know, everybody wants to see you. And I'm just crying, I'm like, no, I just want to sleep. I'm just destroyed.